Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Gemini collective. It is still Gemini season, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time, see what we got for you. Talk to me, my gods. What's up with the lovely Geminis? And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock. What do we got for Gemini, please? And while we do, I would just like to once again wish every Gemini out there a very happy birthday from me to you, my friends. I hope you're having a great one. Okay, so this is very airy. Now, I do know a lot of air signs have active mentals, active minds here, but this one is a little more water sign based whenever I see it. Super etheric and imaginative. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading, let's talk about it. So if you take a close look at this card, you'll notice that we have this beautiful woman, there's hot air balloons, the background is super etheric, there's some nonsensical things happening here. So we do think of dreamland, the ether, the astral realm, whatever you want to call it, it's showing up here. When I see this type of energy, I think of a very lush type of imagination, which could be very good. In this time, you might have that creative bug nipping at you. You might want to create, whether it's art, whether it's writing, just expressing yourself is extra important when this type of card is showing up. Your mind might be a little more active than normal. It might be a little more ramped up. So in that case, Spirit is asking you to release a little pressure, release a little bit of that creative steam, because that could really help you along in a lot of different ways when this card shows up. Also, pay attention to your dreams. You might want to dream journal down some things when this card shows up. Spirit might be trying to talk to you through the dream state. Get that out of here. Okay, let's get into tarot. I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. But yeah, let's get you 3 of these in the upright before we get the intuitive juiciness flowing. Shuffle it up here one time for the Geminis, please. My gods and spirit team. What do we got here in Gemini season? So, last week's reading was titled An Emotional Talk, and it seems like the last 2 weeks, your readings both centered around communication. Both of them had that in the title. So whether you've been having different talks with people, expressing yourself, or vice versa, the realm of communication was extremely important the past couple of weeks. And that energy could still bleed over into the coming week, but it seems like we've had some interesting readings as well that we're leaning more towards positive as we moved into Gemini season. So we're going to hope to keep that going. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. And as you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're connected to. Let's get you 3 cards. What do we got for Gemini, please? Thank you. Okay. Oh, all right. We're starting with a tower. Don't get nervous about that. Okay, but that's always literally starting with a boom, starting with a bang. We're going to talk about this tower, my friends. Some towers could be very good, depending. Let's get you 2 more. Big shock energy, energy of surprise. You know how that goes. All right, we got the 3 of Cups right after it. So for some of you, this might not be a bad tower with that 3 of Cups here. We're going to have to talk about this, my friends. I could already tell this is going to be a very layered, nuanced type of reading. Try to get these as straight as possible. One more. Let's get you 1 for Gemini here. Thank you. Lady Justice. So we have karmic energy, and I will say this, Gemini, there are extremely powerful energies at play in this week's reading for you, my friends. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get that juicy intuitive stuff. Now, at first glance, you know, I got to mention it. On the extreme ends, we have 2 extremely powerful, universal type of energies showing up here. But we also have a card of celebration. Like we have celebration, we have karmic, we have hitting that reset button as well. But let's go through one by one. There's a lot of power here. Position number 1, though, we do have the tower. If you watch tarot readings, you know all about this tower. So let's talk about it a little bit. When we see a tower, we think of the foundation being shaken up. We think of various different surprises, the unexpected, the shocking even, things that pop up out of nowhere. This card could represent endings, but like I said, not all towers are bad. Sometimes this could be a very good shock or surprise. depending on what clarifies it. And it's surrounded by this Three of Cups, so this might be positive. The Tower can also represent the libido. This is a phallic symbol, of course. We're not going to put our minds too much in the gutter, but the libido might be going in this time for whatever reason when we see this Tower. But generally, when we see it, we think of the unexpected, the surprising, and the shocking. So we'll have to see what that's about. Some of you might be just wanting to reset something or start fresh. That could be a big vibe whenever the Tower shows up. Now, moving to the center, I just knocked the Tower off its moorings. Let's get it right back where it belongs. There we go. Now, we have the Three of Cups. This is a card. I know it gets a bad reputation. Some readers say, oh, third party this, third party that, and that could be represented here with this Three of Cups. But generally, I see this as a card of celebration, happiness, merriment, partying it up, living it up. So when we see it next to this Tower, like it could be telling us like, hey, something big's coming in. You don't see it coming just yet, but it could be extremely positive. The rougher side of the Three of Cups, obviously, could be sticky group situations, but it can absolutely represent overconsumption sometimes, like partying a little too much. So we're not going to go one way or the other. It could be one or the other or even both. We need to clarify it to really pull more detail. Now, moving to the back end, this is where it gets really intriguing for me, extra intriguing, is that we have Lady Justice chilling here. For some of you, you might be connected to a Libra. When we see her, we think of legal things, contractual things, anything in that realm, like paperwork, stuff like that. In another sense, it could be decision-making, choices. But when I see her, it's the sword of karma, right? This is the balance of karma. So it could be spirit saying, like, hey, the karmic scales are about to tip, a karmic cycle is about to shift or turn over, especially when we have a Tower here. Somebody might be catching a dose of karma as well. So we really need to clarify this to see if this is a warning or if this could be a positive, possibly. So the way this is all played out here, like from front to back, I feel like it's going to be nuanced, whether it's one full story or whether it's three separate things. When we have these powerful karmic energies and the powerful Tower here, there could be a lot going on, a lot of energy affecting you, so you might be extra sensitive to different vibrations and energies in this time. But with that being said, I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for the Geminis, please, my guides. What do we got for my friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Tower. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Tower time. Why is this Tower here for my friends? Thank you. Yeah, it's coming. Something or someone is coming in hot here. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Also, this is another karmic card, a karmic archetype. So once again, this could be somebody catching a dose. This could represent somebody who's on the wrong side of karma. If there's somebody who has done you wrong in the past, they might be catching their dose here. But when I see the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, aside from the karmic warnings and archetypes, this is a card of action and change. So for some of you, this could be a shocking change or a shocking shakeup of some sort, where things are one way 1 second and then boom, something happens and it's all different. Okay, it could be a paradigm shift, a paradigm change as well. Big shocking change energy, which doesn't always have to be bad. I want to keep reiterating that. Now, we'll just have to see, like, it could just be shocking action or just movement and change in general, right? It doesn't have to be something specific, but for a lot of you, there could be issues and situations that just pop up out of nowhere, like unexpectedly or shockingly. I just got to say that once again. I don't want to pile on this too much. I don't want to overcomplicate it. For another portion of you, this could be someone, especially with the Tower, like, I'm tired of waiting, let's make a move. So like, we could keep adding messages here. I feel like there's another well of energy that we could keep pulling message after message after message from this alignment. So we're going to cut it there. We're going to keep pressing forward to try to get more detail. But something or someone could be coming in hot, or this is like shocking change of some sort, which doesn't have to be bad. Let's keep moving. The Three of Cups in Justice could really tell us like what we're looking at here in regards to how this change will be received, or how comfortable or uncomfortable it can be. Because for a portion of you, this Tower could be something that's already elapsed. It could have already happened. So what's going on that Three of Cups? What is this Three of Cups here for Gemini, please? Thank you. Beautiful. And even if it doesn't feel like it, this change could be for the best, my friends. Now we have the Fool underneath that Three of Cups. This tells me very good things. For some of you, this could be an Aries that you're connected to. And interestingly, I want to point this out on the zodiacal wheel. Aries and Libra, they're across from each other. They're the yin and yang. So they're a balanced type of energy when they show up and they're spread together. Now, the Three of Cups, the happiness, the merriment with the Fool, whatever change or whatever closeout or whatever fallout this Tower causes, even if it's uncomfortable in the moment, this might be for the best. This should be energy that's claimed. When we see the Fool, if it's not an Aries you're connected to, we think of the beginning of a new journey, the beginning of a brand new cycle. Remember, this is the first card in the tarot deck of the major arcana. This is someone about to start a new cycle. So this is very good, especially after this like possible ending or change-based energy that's linked with the Tower. When we see this Fool under the Three of Cups, it's like, all right, you're going to be moving on a much more happier path, a much more much happier cycle overall. I would claim this energy right here. Okay, it's a little happy-go-lucky as well. So that's why I feel like this Tower, it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Now, if you are going through Towers of various different kinds, you might be taking them well. Like you might be very adaptable and just taking it and moving forward in whatever way, which can be very good. Feels very adaptable and it feels nice. So let's just keep moving forward. I'm not going to get hung up here. You see the positivity we have right here. Okay, whatever new cycle or change, it's for the best. Okay. So this Tower could be a win overall, even if it doesn't feel like it. Let's go in on Lady Justice, see what she has to say. Then we'll do a recap before we get into the shadow card. So why is Lady Justice here for the Geminis? Okay, thank you. Queen of Pentacles, beautiful. Beautiful. This feels good. When I see the Queen of Pentacles, it does remind me a lot of the Empress. And I do want to say this for a portion of you, when I was speaking about possible karmic things, karmic lessons, or someone catching a dose, you may be linked to an earth sign when the Queen of Pentacles shows up, male, female, doesn't matter. So it could simply just be that, like speaking about some sort of karmic connection to an earth sign. But aside from that, when we see her, she is generally a card of big boss energy, right? Chasing those pentacles, earthly abundance, overflowing, just like the goddess that is the Empress. So this is beautiful energy underneath Justice. Karma swinging in your favor. We've been seeing this change, these cycles kicking over, but for the positive. So even if you're going through a time that feels stressful or change isn't always comfortable, but it could be for the best here. And when we see her underneath Lady Justice, it feels like a karmic reward or blessing, a big one in the end. I'm not going to use the word payoff, but like it's that source energy shining down on you and blessing you. I would claim these back end energies for sure. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't going to want to claim a Tower generally, but this is very positive for the future, whatever cycle you're moving into, Gemini, which is nice. And since it is Gemini season, a lot of you could literally be at the beginning of a new cycle, right? The new solar year. Let's go through and do a quick little recap. Then we'll get you a shadow card. Very interesting spread this week. As always, only take what hits. But if you kindly look in the box, we have the Tower with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I've been saying it since the beginning. This might not be a bad Tower. It might not be a bad shock. It could be a win or a surprise, a victory of some sort. But there is someone or something either coming in hot or this is change that's happening shockingly fast. And it's not bad. Even though it might be uncomfortable, it's not bad. Because when we get to the center, we have the Three of Cups with the Fool in the upright, whatever new journey, new cycle you're moving towards. There's a happy-go-lucky energy here as well. So a lot of you could be adapting to change or whatever situations you're going through very well. All right, it might not be super easy, but you could be rolling with the punches easily. And this feels really good in the center. Very prosperous and abundant, cause for celebration, especially as we get to the back end. Yes, we have these karmic ties showing up, but we have Lady Justice with the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. If that's not representing a karmic connection to an earth sign, so we're talking Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, this could just be some sort of karmic blessing or abundance that is coming in for you towards the back end of whatever new cycle you're moving into. So these are claimable energies for sure in the back end. Please take a screenshot of this, Gemini. Beautiful reading overall. Aside from that Tower, it gets us a little skeptical. But let's get you one shadow card here. Let's see what's in the shadows for Gemini, the guides and spirit team. Change, change, change. And I know life is all about change, but when we get a tower, it could be coming quicker than you think. But let's see what's up with Gemini, please. Guys, what's in the shadows here? I'm still using the Shadowland Tarot for this portion. It's one of my favorite decks to use for shadow work. You know that. Okay, we have the Five of Cups, a little bit of sadness here. So even though we have happiness in the main part of the spread, the Five of Cups could represent depression or sadness. This is a very common card to get in the shadows. So let's talk about it. The Five of Cups, the River of Tears. Could be a literal situation or something that is making you upset, right? Causing you, whether it's a loss, whether it's rough personal relationships. When I see this Five of Cups, it is some sort of inherent sadness, whether it's from something that happened today, yesterday, a couple weeks ago, a few years ago. This inherent Five of Cups energy, the sadness, depression, gloominess, might be something Spirit wants you to really shine a light on. Okay, now not everybody deals with this. For a portion of you, this could represent someone in your life that's in your sphere that you see that they might be struggling a little bit, right? Not so happy-go-lucky, this energy. But it is an energy that can be worked through. This River of Tears, like I said, change isn't easy, right? There's growing pains. So do with that what you will, Gemini. Just be aware of the energies in the shadows and reflect on it. But that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for the month of June, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which one explains how you're feeling currently right now. Which one are you vibing with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.